Okay, guys, so welcome to the Heal Your Metabolism Masterclass. My name is Ashley Fillmore. I am the creator of Metabolic Fix. This is my brand. I have an online nutrition and fitness company. I am dedicated to helping women break free from today's diet culture. So I am not a fan of the quick fixes, crash diets, and quite honestly, a lot of the women that come to me have tried all of those things and have not seen sustainable results. So I am all about sustainable fat loss, weight loss, and we focus a lot on your metabolic health and making sure that your metabolism is healthy, which you guys are going to learn a lot tonight about the metabolism and why it plays such a critical role when it comes to weight loss, fat loss, energy, and just your overall health. Everything I'm going to share with you guys tonight and everything I teach to my clients is science-based. I like to make sure that what I'm preaching to my clients, what I'm preaching to you guys is truly science-based. There is so much information out there these days. It's so easy to be overwhelmed. And so I'm here to help you and to help my clients figure out what they should be doing for sustainable results. I have helped thousands of women heal their metabolism and lose stubborn pounds. I've been in this industry for over a decade. My undergraduate degree is in exercise and nutrition. I went on after college to get advanced certification in metabolic health and hormonal health in regards to sustainable weight loss and fat loss. I worked at an amazing company for about 8 years. I was the head nutrition coach and personal trainer there. And then I started my own company. On 2019, I decided to take my company online, and here I am today. And I will say now, I am so lucky to be able to help women all over the world outside of just my local town. And it has been a true blessing to just share my knowledge and help thousands of women truly be able to break through stubborn weight gain, hormonal issues, metabolic issues. So I'm so happy you're here with me tonight. Okay, so a couple of housekeeping things. Please engage. This is a live masterclass where I like to teach, but I also want you to feel free to ask questions. Please try to turn off your phone, engage. This is for you. I want for you to learn, stay engaged, try to limit your distractions, check mute, make sure you're on mute. At the very end, I will open it up for questions. If you have any questions, I will gladly answer all of them. And please enjoy yourself. I have always said that weight loss is hard, no matter if it's sustainable or if you are doing a diet program that maybe isn't feeling so sustainable at the moment. So my goal when you come into this community is to learn, laugh, realize that, there's nothing wrong with you. We are here to help you break through any barriers you have so you can sustainably reach your goals. Okay, so who is this workshop for? Well, if you are tired throughout the day and have chronically low energy, if you're struggling staying asleep or falling asleep, if the scale is not moving no matter what you're doing. So maybe you're working out every day, maybe you're eating 1,200 calories a day, maybe you're doing some of the most popular diet programs right now and you are not seeing results. You have cravings, your hunger's increased, you have sluggish, just your digestive system is very sluggish, you feel bloated. Another symptom is feeling a little puffy, so you feel like your body's retaining water, you can't move your rings around. You just feel bloated and you don't feel great. You're struggling with anxiety, depression, you feel off. And a lot of times this can also be related to feeling like you're a failure on your diet. You have low confidence. Again, when your health is not in a good place, it impacts way more than just the number on the scale. If you're tired of hitting plateaus, you're sick of feeling stuck. A lot of my clients start saying, they feel like they're shooting in the dark. They don't know what they should or shouldn't be doing. And most importantly, feeling restricted, deprived, like you can't have food groups. Maybe right now you're thinking about cutting out your carbs, you're doing intermittent fasting. And then lastly, you feel like something is wrong with you. I'm here to tell you there is nothing wrong with you. But a lot of times when you are dieting, when you are doing all of these things, you're not seeing results, you start to feel like you are the problem and not the diet. And so if you feel like this is you, if you can check off several of these things, maybe all of these things, you are in the right place. And I'm going to chat with you guys tonight about your metabolism and how it impacts everything I just listed. You're going to walk away with a complete understanding of your personal caloric needs. Maybe you don't even really know what that means. And I'm going to explain that to you in a way that I hope it can really make sense. You're going to understand what types of foods you should be eating, what are healthy foods. You're going to learn from, I'm going to show you my go-to list so you can see all of the foods that truly boost your metabolism, that's going to help you get results. We're going to chat about healing your metabolism. If you're suffering from metabolic damage, you've been chronically undereating or dieting for too long, we're going to chat about how you can start healing your metabolism today. Before we dive into the heal your metabolism part, I really want to explain to you what your caloric needs are so you can start to understand how and why metabolic damage happens. Okay, so I absolutely love this quote. The diet industry is making so much money selling fad diets, non-fat foods, chemicals, pills, potions, and all of the above. And a lot of times we feel like we are the ones doing something wrong. It's like, I feel like I'm broken. Nothing is working for me. I do not have enough willpower to do this diet. For some reason, I just can't power through this. I want to tell you, the diet is not, there's not a diet that I've seen when clients come to me that I would say is sustainable. Most of the women that come into my world are chronically undereating. I'm not just talking in a healthy caloric deficit to lose sustainable weight. I'm talking eating hundreds, if not sometimes 1,000 calories under where they need to be, and they are gaining weight or not losing weight. This is a problem, and you're not the problem. The diet industry and how weight loss is being sold is the problem, and that's what we need to work on changing. Okay, so let's jump into it. We're going to talk about calories first. Okay, so I know there's a lot on this screen, so you can read through it, but I really want you to listen to me. I'm going to break this down for you in a way that I'm hoping you can truly understand. So you have an optimal caloric target based off of your current goals, age, height, activity level, your hormones. There's several things that really are going to influence how many calories you need to be eating per day. Here's one number you need to understand, your BMR. Your BMR is the amount of calories you need to just exist and live. This does not include exercise, your walks. This does not include any other movement outside of just truly living, breathing, your organs functioning. Here is one thing I want you ladies to know. Most of the women that come into the metabolic fix community are not even eating to their BMR. And this is very, very dangerous. The next number I want you to keep in mind is the TDEE. This is the total number of calories you would burn on an average day. Now, here's the difference between the BMR and the TDEE. Your TDEE is letting you know how many calories you should be able to consume and maintain your weight. Maintain your weight. That's what I want you to associate the TDEE with. So that means, let's say if my TDEE is 1900, that would mean I should be able to consume 1900 calories every single day and not gain a pound or lose a pound. Okay, the next thing, and this is where I mentioned earlier on with the BMR, if you're under eating, for example, you could be eating under your BMR, and this is what's going to damage your metabolism, stall weight loss, create hormonal imbalances. And this is ultimately what metabolic damage is. And sometimes I also will refer to it as fat storage mode. So your body is not in a position to burn body fat. You could be working out every single day. You could be, again, eating 1,200 calories or less, eating under your BMR. Every single person has a unique BMR, and you will struggle to see results. If you're seeing results, usually the weight loss will stall and the scale will start to go back up. Your thyroid, different hormones are going to start down regulating because you're chronically under eating. And this is going to prime your body for fat storage. And this is exactly what you don't want. So in this situation, you may start to have a lot of the symptoms that I mentioned on the first slide if this presentation is for you. You're going to notice your energy is going to decrease. Your cravings are going to go up. You may be able to willpower through a couple of days, but then the weekend rolls around and you fall totally off track and you eat all the things. And it's almost like you just can't stop, even though you know that, you don't want to continue eating, but you feel so hungry. This is when you start to notice that you're not seeing body composition changes, even though you're working out every single day. And so that is when you're under eating. And a lot of times you're chronically under eating below your BMR. Now, here is something else I want to mention when we're talking about calories. Some people are overeating. If you're overeating, that means you're eating over the TDEE. Okay, now there's two categories. If you're eating over your TDEE and you're not gaining weight, then your metabolism is a lot higher than you think. And that's a great thing. But if you're eating over your TDEE and you're gaining weight, that's fine. All you need to do is start to reduce your calories to go into a healthy fat loss deficit, and then focus on balancing your meals with proper amounts of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, all of this should be customized for you. And unfortunately, there is no cookie cutter number for anyone. Everything has to be customized to fit your goals. But the BMR is set for all of us. We all have a BMR, how many calories we're burning to just exist. The TDEE, how many calories we need to just maintain. Again, if you're under eating, that means you're eating chronically under eating. You're eating below your BMR, which, remember, that's going to equal metabolic damage. Your body's going to go into fat storage mode. Generally, weight loss is going to stall. Your hormones are going to start down regulating. And then the next thing is overeating. That's when you're eating over what you should be eating for maintenance. And again, some people are like, wow, I'm maintaining my weight and I'm eating more than what your calculator said. But then other times it's like, wow, I did not realize that I shouldn't be eating this much. But again, it's a lot easier to cut back when you're overeating compared to undereating. When you're undereating, it can take a long time for you to very strategically increase your calories. So that's just something to keep in mind. A fat loss deficit is when you're eating below the TDEE and above your BMR. And so this is healthy, guys. I will never tell you that you should be in a surplus to lose weight, to lose body fat, or to change your body composition. There is a range that you can go into, which I like to refer to as a healthy fat loss deficit, and that will put you in a caloric deficit, so you'll start to get some wins under your belt. But here's the thing. For you to see sustainable results, your metabolism has to be healthy, and you have to make sure you're approaching this the right way. When it comes to computing these numbers, there's no cookie cutter approach. And this is actually why I ended up creating my own system, utilizing my own algorithm to compute macros and protein and calories for clients based off of my research and training. Now, all of you guys have access to my free metabolic damage quiz, which is something we've been working on creating for a very long time now. This is not a cookie cutter system. This is all science-based and has been tested. So hopefully you've taken my free quiz. If not, you can take it here in a little bit, and this will help you determine what your BMR is and if you're eating above it or below it. And then again, if you're eating at your TDEE, or are you coming in above it or below it? So these are some good basic numbers you should know. So pro tip, make sure you're calculating the numbers using my free quiz. There are a lot of quizzes or calculators and things out there on the internet, and a lot of them are not great or accurate. So make sure you're using my free quiz. Another tip, to get an accurate estimate of your actual daily caloric intake, you have to be tracking your food. And so a lot of times someone may say, mentally add up, okay, I had this for breakfast, I had this for lunch, I had this for dinner. I think I had, maybe 2,000 calories a day. The only way you're going to accurately know how much you're consuming is downloading, let's say, a free app like MyFitnessPal. You don't need to invest in the paid version. You can use the free version, ignore their calorie recommendations and all of that, but just start eating intuitively. Weigh out your food on a food scale, pull out the measuring cups and spoons, become aware of how much you're consuming. If you want to determine if you have metabolic damage, you have to know how much you're eating, and that has to be accurate. If you're against, let's say, MyFitnessPal or any food tracking app, you can compute this by hand just by looking up how many calories is in the food you're eating. Grab a notebook, make sure you're writing this stuff down, and then you can compute that. But that takes a little bit more time and effort, and everyone is so busy. So I always advise my clients to just download that free MyFitnessPal app, eat intuitively for a couple of days, try to be as accurate as possible so we can actually have a good gauge of how much you're consuming, and then take that free BMR metabolic quiz of mine. You will immediately be able to see, wow, am I eating at my BMR? Am I eating at my TDEE? And how is my body responding? Here's something else. A lot of times I will see ladies that are eating over their BMR, but under their TDEE, but not in a, I wouldn't say their calories aren't too low, but they're still struggling to lose weight. And so a lot of times a woman will go on a diet program, stay in a caloric deficit for way too long without any diet breaks, without any strategic higher calorie meals, and your metabolism will also start to downregulate. Just because you're eating above your BMR, that does not mean you do not have metabolic damage. It does not mean that your metabolism is healthy. It is just you're one step ahead. If you're eating under your BMR, that is like the danger zone. We have to get you above your BMR, but you could be eating just slightly over your BMR, a couple hundred calories over your BMR, and you could still be struggling. And so there could be a lot of different reasons why, maybe your foods, which we're going to hop into in a second, you're not eating the right kinds of foods that align with your goals, or you could have some metabolic damage if you have been chronically dieting over the years, losing and gaining the same 10, 20 pounds, really struggling to maintain a weight once you lose weight. Those are all signs of metabolic damage as well. Okay, so this is something I wanted to chat with you guys about. And I'm actually going to pause the recording for a second, and I'm going to come back to just my face. So this is something that I wanted to share with you guys. And if you are new, this will be new information to you. If you guys have been here with me for a while and your clients or friends and you've been in one of my programs, you've probably heard this story. So I'm sorry that I'm repeating it, but I really want to share this with you guys because I think it's really important. So as you guys heard on slide number 1 or 2, I've been in this industry for a very long time, and I specialize in metabolic health for women. And let's just say, even with all of the knowledge and experience under my belt. About 10 years ago, when I was newer in my career and industry, I was very much so caught in the vicious dieting trap. And this is another reason why I am so passionate about helping women break through this barrier. When I started off my career, I was so passionate and enthusiastic about, being the best trainer, being the best coach. My self-worth was very much so wrapped into the way that I looked. And I don't mean this in a silly way, but I felt like to be perceived as a knowledgeable trainer and coach, I needed to look that part. So I looked to the ladies in the magazines and I thought, wow, I'm going to try to look just like her. Well, let's just say after training multiple times a day, I would work out 1 to 2 hours a day. I would take fitness class after fitness class after fitness class. If I wasn't moving, I felt guilty. And on top of this, I was chronically under eating. I would cut my carbs out one week. The next week I would fast. The next week I would do I guess you can say, let's try to make it through the day, willpower through the day, white knuckle through the day until I get to dinner and then I'll have a small meal. I literally remember getting to 3 p.m. sometimes and almost being in tears because I had no calories left for the day. And so, long story short, after a couple of years of staying in this vicious cycle, I had metabolic damage, I had hormonal imbalances, and I literally had to spend years and thousands of dollars. And I also shed a lot of tears healing my metabolism, correcting my hormonal imbalances, along with help from doctors and my own knowledge. And now here I am today. But I guess you would say my breaking point, I was literally eating about 1,200 calories a day, being in my early 20s, super active woman, should have been eating, 2,500 calories a day. And let's just say I spent a lot of time repairing that damage. It was not sustainable. It was not healthy. And it is a dead end road. So not only do I get to help my clients break through this, I wanted to share a little bit of my personal story with you. And so now here I am today. And it's not to brag, but I can eat 2,500 calories a day, feel fit and healthy. I have 2 small children. I have a thriving and growing business. And no, by no means, I'm not perfect. But when it comes to my metabolic health and having a healthy relationship with food, that is something I have figured out. And that is something I'm incredibly passionate about helping my clients figure out and also helping you figure out. So I just wanted to share that. I'm going to get right back into the presentation. So thank you for listening. I hope that resonated with some of you. I just wanted you to know that, you're not broken, you're not alone. There's several experts, there's several coaches, there's several women that struggle with this. And, if you're just thinking, wow, I'm not even a nutritionist, a personal trainer in the health and fitness field, and I'm struggling with this, there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of us. I think we all have our own reasons and motivators to want to do that quick fix. It does sound really great to get that instant gratification. Okay, so for the best results, eat this. Okay, so just to go back and recap, we talked about the calories, we talked about the BMR, the TDEE, under eating and how that's what causes metabolic damage, overeating and how that's ultimately a better problem to have, making sure that you're accurately tracking your food, you're accurately measuring out your food so you can have a good baseline. And then you can take my metabolic damage BMR quiz to determine if you are eating under your BMR and if you potentially have metabolic damage, and that's what's holding you back from reaching your goals. So now we're going to focus on what you should be eating if you want to reverse metabolic damage, keep your metabolism healthy, or just rev up fat loss and really get that ball going and that momentum picked up quite a bit. Okay, so I absolutely love this, and this is why I wanted to add this in this presentation. Food quality is everything. A calorie is not a calorie. And so this is something I want to hit on because there are certain diet programs that really looks at all calories as being equal. Ultimately, if you're eating within your points or your caloric range, you can eat donuts or chicken breast. It doesn't really matter as long as you're staying within that caloric target. So let's just play with this for a second. So if you have a donut, and let's say that donut is 300 calories, could you eat 3 donuts? I don't know if you're shaking your head yes, but I could. I could definitely eat 3 donuts if I was hungry. Would you still be hungry an hour later? Probably within an hour, I'd be hungry, especially if I was really wanting a meal. Would your energy spike and then crash? Yes. When you eat donuts or processed foods that's filled with sugars and trans fat, you're going to have a sugar high, as I like to call it. And then about an hour later, suddenly you feel tired. And this is when you feel like you need caffeine or maybe soda or maybe more sugar to correct that energy, that energy crash that you just felt. And you don't really feel great. You kind of feel bloated. You may pull at your pants. It's hard to get your work done. It's really uncomfortable. So with a chicken breast, could you eat 3 chicken breast? You probably could, but you'd be really full. Would you still be hungry after an hour later? I doubt it. Would your energy spike and then crash? No, because it's not filled with a lot of processed sugar or carbohydrates. How would you feel? You'd probably feel really full and you probably wouldn't be hungry for a really long time. So here's the thing. For proper metabolic and hormonal health, the foods you eat 100% impact your metabolism. It impacts what you eat is very much so broken down very differently depending on what you're eating. When you eat a food, it is going to trigger different hormonal and metabolic responses in your body. And they could either support your goals or they could work against your goals. So the goal is to eat foods that align with your fat loss goals, weight loss goals most of the time. So this information is regarding the previous slide. So they had the same amount of calories. Chicken is really high in protein. It's going to suppress hunger. Donuts are very high in processed sugar and fats. They're chemically made. They're going to increase hunger. Chicken uses more calories to convert into energy. This is something I teach in my digital course and even with my other clients. I always talk about the importance of protein. Your body is actually going to burn calories to break down that protein, and that is very unique. So making sure you're eating that healthy protein. Donuts, you're going to consume a higher net caloric intake after digestion. Chicken has minimal impact on your insulin, which is a hormone that very much so is going to impact fat loss. Donuts will spike your insulin and lead to fat storage. When insulin is high, your body's in fat storage mode. And so chicken is very satisfying and it's going to keep you full for hours. So if you're thinking, okay, what can I start eating? Well, making sure you're eating plenty of protein, salmon, eggs, grass-fed beef, Greek yogurt, protein powder, leafy greens. All green vegetables are great, but leafy greens are really great. Broccoli, apple cider vinegar is great for your metabolism. Adding fresh lemon or limes to your water is very good for your metabolism, digestion, and your adrenal glands. Healthy fats like chia seeds, nuts. Salmon also contains a lot of healthy fats. Making sure you're adding in fresh herbs. Herbs have tons of health benefits. Berries are by far the best fruit you should be consuming for not only weight loss, fat loss goals, but for metabolic health. Bone broth is healthy. Spicy foods, coffee, these things have been researched, green tea, to show that it can most definitely increase your metabolic rate. So make sure you check out some of these foods. You can take a screenshot of this. Again, there's going to be a recording, and add these foods into your diet. So when it comes to the metabolic fixed food pyramid, this is my approach. I'm very much so a big fan of eating whole foods. Again, the foods you eat are going to directly impact your metabolic health and your hormonal health. For vegetables, shoot for 4 to 10 servings a day, vegetables and fruits. Mostly try to get in at least 4 to 6 servings of vegetables is what I would recommend. A minimum of 100 grams of protein per day if you just need some general recommendations. These are things that I would recommend. Now, obviously, in my programs and things of that nature with clients, everything is very much so customized. But if you're new to my community and you're thinking, okay, where can I start? 4 to 10 servings of vegetables and fruits a day, a minimum of 100 grams of protein. Your carbohydrates most definitely will need to be customized to fit your unique metabolic, hormonal needs and lifestyle. But generally speaking, most people need at least 3 servings a day. Again, that's very general terms, and it's hard to know exactly what you would need without working with you or having you go through one of my courses where you would determine what you would need. With your proteins and your healthy fats, you're going to be shooting for at least 1 serving of healthy fat at every single meal. So keep in mind when you go to look at salmon and certain foods like that, it has a lot of healthy fats in it as well. So you can count that as a healthy fat. So 10% of the time, you can have those treats. I always tell my clients it's not all or nothing. You don't have to give up all of your favorite foods. But if you have metabolic damage, it is harder for your metabolism to break down those foods 10% of the time. So for example, your body may struggle with that caloric surplus that you would get from having pizza, donuts, ice cream, a vacation, and your metabolism will not know how to process those calories efficiently without storing them. So if you have metabolic health issue, metabolic damage, you're worried that your metabolism is sluggish, you're not seeing results, until you can really take a deeper look into what's going on specifically, try to limit those treats. 10% of the time is a general rule or guideline, I would rather say, for the clients that I work with. So have a treat, but just make sure 90% of the time you are eating whole foods. Try to avoid stuff that's in boxes. Eat whole foods. Your metabolism, your hormones, your energy levels will thank you. Okay, so how to heal metabolic damage. Well, first and foremost, this is literally the tip of the iceberg. I have so much that I'm going to share with you guys. And honestly, putting it all in one presentation would be very overwhelming for you. And that's the last thing I want for you to do is walk away feeling really, really overwhelmed. So this is part 1 and step 1. I have a lot more to come for you. It's all going to be broken down into very just doable bite-sized pieces so you can actually start to absorb this information, learn how to break free from dieting, and find a more sustainable approach to lose weight. So simple steps that you can start implementing immediately to heal your metabolism. 1, you have to find your range. Determine your personal BMR and TDEE. Slowly increase or decrease your calories between those 2 limits, but to know exactly where your calories can be, unfortunately, that's not something myself or any other professional could just tell you. There's a lot of factors that really go into the specific and exact amount of calories you need to be consuming. But generally speaking, you need to know what your BMR is. You need to know what the TDEE is. And I provide both of those things to you now for free. All you have to do is check in the chat box if you haven't taken my metabolic damage quiz, and go ahead and take that. That will be step 1. And so for healthy and sustainable results to heal your metabolism, you would need to start eating a little bit more and making sure that you're eating the right foods. If you are eating over your BMR, but you're still struggling and you think you have a sluggish metabolism, you need to focus more on eating better, making sure that you're eating the right foods, looking back to the list that I just shared with you. Or are you eating out of a lot of box foods that are filled with processed sugar, carbs, and things like that? Train smart. Although this presentation focused so much on nutrition, I do not want to neglect the importance of weight training. Weight training and building muscle mass is the number one thing you can do to increase your metabolic rate. So if you're struggling right now with sustainable results and you want to reverse metabolic damage and finally be able to lose those stubborn pounds and inches, weight training should be your number one priority. It is going to help heal your metabolism, increase your BMR, your metabolic rate, and it's also going to help your body use the calories and energy it gets from your food for recovery, muscle repair versus storing it as body fat. And then as you guys saw with the slide, with the donut and the chicken breast, a calorie is not a calorie. The body is going to metabolize processed foods very differently than healthy whole foods. And that is why I focus on the 90-10 rule, because again, the foods you eat most definitely are going to impact your metabolic health. If you've been yo-yo dieting for years, losing and gaining 10, 20, 30 pounds, or you're currently dieting and you're not seeing results, most definitely focusing in on eating better quality foods is going to help you heal your metabolism and see sustainable results. And then number 4, my last tip for you is focus in on how your body is feeling. I am so big on focusing in on the biofeedback. Even as an expert in this field and a coach that's worked with thousands of clients at this point, I still turn to my clients and say, how is your energy? How are you feeling? Are you having cravings? Do you like the foods that you're eating? Is this sustainable? Those are things that you know, and you cannot ignore your body on that. So keep that in mind too. Biofeedback is everything. And you should always be paying attention to your sleep, your cravings, your mood, your energy level, along with the scale and inches lost, but don't neglect those other markers too. Okay, so if this really resonates with you and you're wondering what's next, I have something amazing for you, and it's 100% free. So since you showed up here, I want to invite you to join my 5-day group coaching boot camp for women that's struggling to lose weight and keep it off. This boot camp is going to be starting May 17th, and you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much time left. There's a couple of weeks before May 17th gets here. Yes, but I am going to have so much value for you until the boot camp starts on the 17th. If you sign up, you're going to start getting stuff in your inbox that's going to help you get on the right track. You can join my free Facebook community. You can start to become more engaged with myself and my content. If you're not on Facebook, no worries. Check your emails. You're going to get videos and things presented to you that's going to help you. This 5-day challenge is going to give you everything you need to truly start to get your metabolism back on the right track. This is specifically created for you and women that are struggling to see sustainable results, not just results, but sustainable results. And so I would love for you to join. The link is dropped in the chat box. Be sure to sign up and you'll be receiving it via email. So inside of this fat loss boot camp, I want to chat with you about what's going to be in there. And again, as I've mentioned, via social media and email, this is a free challenge. I promise you there's no tricks. There's nothing up my sleeves. This challenge is 100% free. All I want for you to do is show up, apply yourself, engage, and you'll even get prizes for doing that if you participate. So I'm really here to help you. My team is here to help you. And we really do want to see you become more successful. So in this boot camp, here's what you get. You're going to have access to the BMR quiz, which you can already take now. But if you've taken that BMR quiz, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm either under eating or overeating, and I'm not really sure what else I need to be doing. This was great, but I need a little bit more. Wonderful. I have 2 live strategy sessions. They're master classes just like this, where I'm going to be teaching in more detail on everything you need to know to truly be able to lose weight, lose body fat sustainably. Again, we'll have Q&As. There's going to be a 5-day access pass. You're going to get virtual support from me, my amazing co-coach. You're going to get to connect with like-minded women. There's going to be bonus tips, strategies, everything you can think of to help you repair your metabolism, reset things, and get back on track. You're also going to get my Fat Loss Fit Camp, which is going to include 3 fat burning workouts designed to help you get your metabolism into high gear. And the workouts are going to be short. All of my programming across the board for all of my clientele can be done at home. These workouts will be done with minimal equipment as well that can be done in the comfort of your home. Working out is critical. Weight training is very critical when it comes to repairing metabolic damage. And so I will definitely be including weight training in this 5-day boot camp as well. But tonight's presentation, as you guys saw, focused heavily on the nutrition because nutrition is king when it comes to repairing your metabolism. Weight training is very important too. It just comes in second place in my opinion. Okay, yay, that was it for tonight, guys. I'm going to stop the share. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Any questions? You can type it down or take yourself off mute. Hi.
Hi, I'm a college student, and whenever I cook for one, and that's really hard. Specifically, just like trying to stay away from boxed foods and stuff like that. It's really hard to cook whole foods for like one person and not get tired of like the meals that I'm eating all the time. Like today, I was at the store and I had to call my mom, and I was like, "What do I eat for dinner?" Because I'm tired of everything that I've been eating. So, like, what are some of I guess, if you had to have something that is quicker, that's not like as like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna like bake this chicken or whatever it is. If you had to have something that was a little bit quicker, do you have any like ideas or thoughts about that?
Yeah, definitely, Lindsay. I have a lot of ideas for you. So I have a lot of ladies that are college students or graduate students and cooking for one. And I know it's so hard to do this massive food prep if it's only one person. So I have some tricks for you. So one thing I want you to start thinking about is sometimes when you have weight loss goals or body composition goals, it's easy to feel like you have to be so perfect and eat, everything so super perfectly. Now, although in a perfect world, that would be great, it's really not that sustainable. And especially if you're cooking for one and you're in college. So what I would try to do is let's focus on better options. So in cases like this, what I would suggest is rotisserie chickens. You can buy a rotisserie chicken, literally eat off of that chicken for 2 or 3 days. I don't know. I can almost eat one sometimes in one day, but maybe you can get a couple of meals. Another trick is buying nitrate and nitrite free deli meat. Applegate, Boar's Head, they have an all natural brand that's pretty high quality. I keep it on hand for my girls and I also keep it on hand for myself. Again, it's a healthier option and it most definitely is something you can just pull out of your refrigerator. You could do a deli meat roll up and you could truly just take the deli meat, a slice of cheese and a lettuce leaf and roll it up. Not sure if you have an Instapot, but they're amazing. You should ask for one for Christmas or a holiday if not, but you literally can cook basic foods in like a minute. And so it's a lifesaver if you're busy. You can take simple foods and make them really quickly. There's quick cooking rices and quinoa blends. Most definitely go with those. In the produce section, there are individual wrapped sweet potatoes in most grocery stores. You can pop one in the microwave and have that. Keep some bananas, peanut butter, almond butter, things like that on hand so you can have easy go-to snacks. Protein shakes, get a blender. I love making a protein smoothie every morning. You can make it for one. You can keep frozen fruit and frozen veggies on hand, and then just add in your protein powder. If you connect with me outside of the masterclass in the Facebook community, or even connect with me through my email or social media, I can share some of the links with you for my favorite protein powders. But you can buy one and just make a protein smoothie. So you're getting your veggies, you can add fresh veggies in there, healthy fats, avocados, and then you can get a good dose of protein as well. Greek yogurt, Fage, F-A-G-E, 2% Greek yogurt, buy the individual containers, add some berries, and you can put in some nuts or seeds, and right there is a go-to. So I have so many ideas for you if you want to stay connected with me. I mean, again, I think with a lot of us even working on the go, it's nice to have some very quick options at hand.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
really
you're
appreciate it.
welcome, Lindsay. Great question. Okay, anyone else, feel free to unmute yourself. I am going to glance through. Okay, so can you suggest vitamins? Okay, guys, I was not going to bring up my vitamin, but since someone asked, I did create a multivitamin in 2017. It is available through my website. It is also available and distributed worldwide via Amazon and through other distributors. If you would like a high quality multivitamin that is affordable, most definitely check my vitamin out. Many of my clients take them. So if you're looking for a high quality multivitamin, I created one that I stand by and I know exactly what's in it. And again, it's something I'm really proud of that I created. So it was created in 2017. Rachel, I would be glad to share that link with you. Yeah, Ashley, the Instapot. I had one in my closet for a really long time and didn't pull it out. And then recently I did, and I figured out I could literally cook rice in a minute or two compared to 45 minutes on my stovetop. So it is so nice. Okay, guys, any other questions? Okay, Rachel, yeah, I'll definitely get you the link. So let me see here. The bootcamp link, go ahead and sign up for that. If you're new to the community and you want to learn more, sign up for it. Go ahead and connect with me in my free Facebook group. There's lots of videos I've done in there as well on all of these things. But this is my ending thought. And if you guys have any questions, again, please feel free to ask away. If I can answer them, I will most definitely answer them. But the one thing I want you to think about is if you're struggling to see results, if you're currently dieting or have been dieting off and on, and some of you, it may be literally for years, and you're not seeing results, you're trying to eat right, you're doing, as I like to say, all the right things, you're eating right, you're working out, you're trying to manage stress, you're walking, you're trying to do all of these things, and you're not seeing any movement. The scale's not decreasing, your circumference measurements, your waist, your hips, those measurements aren't decreasing. You're not noticing definition in your muscles and you're lifting weights multiple times a week. You're not feeling stronger. And then your energy's low. You're not feeling good. Your digestive system is sluggish. You're not using the bathroom regularly. You just don't feel right. You have cravings. If you have any of those symptoms or all of those symptoms, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you come into my community and you start to learn about metabolic damage. You start to learn about how to reverse metabolic damage. You sign up for my free boot camp, and we will start to truly pull back the curtain on things that you can do to help you reverse some of these things. And here's the thing, diets are designed for quick results. There's not a diet that I really ever see preach that it's, necessarily sustainable or always easy for you to do. A diet program is going to help you get to your goal as quickly as possible at whatever cost. So it could be the cost of your metabolism, it could be your mental health, it could be your anything, your hormonal health. I've seen it impact women so negatively across the board in many ways. With that diet program, you will lose the weight, but can you maintain it? Do you like the foods that you're eating? Do you feel like it's sustainable? Are you finding yourself constantly starting over every Monday? Do you have a very unhealthy relationship with food? Are you feeling obsessed, kind of similar to my example, where you feel trapped and just consumed with your food and your workouts, and that's all you ever do is work out and focus on eating less, for example? If that is you, there is a much more sustainable approach. And I will say that I have helped women sustainably lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds within a year sustainably. And 95% of them are eating more, training in a very sustainable way. Several of my clients are on this call tonight, and I feel very proud to say that. And there is a much more sustainable approach. And so I want you to feel relieved. And I thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been a true joy to talk with all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you more. And I will see if there's any final questions. Yay. Yep. I will get the vitamin link out. Yay, thanks, Ashley. Yeah, so I'll have the link to you for the vitamins. And again, thank you so much. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Thank you so much for showing up tonight, guys. And I can't wait to see you guys in the challenge. I'll see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.